way. Unconventional. Now I'm gonna play the intro. Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. The main man, the real, still the real Anthony D. And your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative, Uncle Freezy. In the building, y'all see it. It's your main man, the number one chief rocker in Knicks universe, Uncle Freezy, coming through, rocking the spot with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser, Anthony D, coming through. Tomorrow is the 4-year anniversary of Lawrence Tears, October 28th. Put that on your calendars.
Absolutely. You know, congratulations, Uncle Freezy. You know what I mean? As Vesta said, I thought it would have been me standing there with you. Congratulations, but it is me. But it is me, as always, standing here with you.
Bim.
You know, good morning to the Knick Nation.
Back in stride. Back together again.
As we always are, and we always will be.
Yeah, man.
You know, I want to just take this moment to salute you, Uncle Freezy, because I remember the first time I saw you, you know, as far as in your own space and so forth, and you were talking about why you started Lawrence Tears, and you know, you kind of got me to come on without even knowing that I was out there just listening to you and just vibing and really feeling, you know, what it was that made you wanted to get your voice out there to help you to deal with what you were going through and so forth. And in turn, you helped me to kind of find my voice out here, which I didn't know that I would have a voice, you know, on the internet, just talking about what we love. So I want to salute you, salute your family, salute your inspiration for wanting to be out here, because it ain't easy, ladies and gentlemen. Freezy's out here every day.
Every day. Yeah, man.
Every day, every night, basically, you know.
Regardless of work schedule.
Regardless of work schedule, just to come out here and to talk the Knicks. So, salute to you, my brother. You know, on your 4-year anniversary tomorrow. And so forth. So, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Salute.
Tried and true. Tried and true. Uncle Freeze had to get something nice and cold and colory.
Salute. Yeah, man.
Something nice and cold and colory.
Yeah, man.
You know, absolutely.
So let me do this real quick. Shout out to the New York tri-state area. Shout out to the greatest borough that God ever created, the Bronx, New York. Salute to the Bronx, because if it wasn't for the Bronx, you already know all the rest, right? Salute to Staten Island, which I still have only met maybe 2 people in my entire lifetime from Staten Island. Salute to Manhattan. Salute to Queens, New York is in the building. Salute
we still get the money.
Yeah, Queens get the money. Yeah, man. Salute to all the surrounding areas: Jersey City, Newark, Passaic, Patterson, New Rochelle, Westchester,
Delaware, Philly,
Mount Vernon, Yonkers,
It's
everywhere.
it's a tri-state thing.
Yeah,
It's
man.
a tri-state. Even New Englanders, what there are Knicks fans.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's Buffalo, Rochester, upstate.
Absolutely.
The little drive from the city, but y'all get it. So salute to everybody, man. From everywhere that supports. Salute to my international crowd. Salute to the Philippines. Y'all are loud but proud. Salute to my people from the Philippines. Y'all are loud but proud. Salute to the Canadians.
The
Salute to
DMV area, there's a lot of Knicks fans in the
Puerto
Washington.
Rico. Ho!
Oh, there's a lot of it. We're large, loud, and proud.
Yeah, man.
So absolutely salute to all of them that's been tuning in for 4 years of some real great moments of orange tears. So we gotta go into the lab and do like the best of our moments.
Good, bad, or indifferent, bro. Good, bad, or
We've
indifferent.
had some good ones. We've actually had some good
Yeah.
ones.
So salute to the West Coast. Salute to my people from Portland area,
Up
Seattle area.
early, up early,
Yeah. Salute
up
to the
early.
subliminal 209s of the world. Salute to the city for reals. Wiz. Salute to Wiz. Everybody out there. Yeah, man.
Absolutely, Wiz.
Yeah, man.
So where we going this morning? Where we at?
I don't really want to fight like the song by Tina Turner. I don't really want to fight. No, I don't really want to fight, but I keep getting the old timers keep pulling me to the side.
Mm.
Right, you know them, the gray heads, like the dudes that been through it, them '60s babies. They pulling me to the side. They're like, "Yo, why are y'all so hyped about this team that we have? Right, like why are y'all so hyped about one guy coming in and is a scoring machine? Is he a leader? Can he do other stuff? It takes a team to win a championship." And so I get a text from Anthony D, and then I get several texts like from the crew. Right, the crew is like, "Is this just not the Carmelo thing all over again?" And I'm like, y'all got to be crazy to think this is the Carmelo thing all over again. Is this just not the Bernard King thing all over again? Where you got a scoring machine and then they use a different term. They like a bucket getter, a scorer, a go getter, and so my thing is it that we love Jalen Brunson scoring, or is it that we love Carmelo Anthony? Bro, so AD, I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. You know I love Carmelo Anthony, right? You know I love Melo, right? I love Melo. I love Clyde Frazier. I love Pat Ewing. I love John Starks, man. But I have a special, different love for Carmelo Anthony.
Here comes
So
the
anytime,
butt. Here
I'm sorry.
comes the butt.
When somebody says a name outside of Carmelo, right? Like when people say, "But Bernard King was the man," I start shuffling my feet, sucking my teeth, like, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Because the eras were so. Bernard King, in my opinion, from about 81 to about 84, was the second best player in the NBA, in my opinion. People may say I'm wrong, whatever. I lived through it. I saw it with my own eyes, right? I was a teenager. I was like adolescent. I was like 13, 14, 15 years old watching it. I saw it on Channel 9 with the grainy videos. I saw Bernard King. I got to go to the Garden about once or twice a year with the church. The pastor, the pastor was a Knicks fan. About 12:45, the pastor started preaching real fast. Amen. Because the next game come on at 1. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man. So yeah, and so my thing is, I saw Bernard King, I saw Melo, and I see Jalen Brunson right now. And is Jalen Brunson as a as impactful as those guys, I don't
As
know. It's only
as
been
a
2 years. It's only
as a scorer?
yeah, as a scorer. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
As a flat out bucket getter, look, those are the three guys that have 60 behind their names in Knick uniform. Bernard had his 60 on Christmas Day, 1984, in a losing effort. I want to point
Very
out.
impressive. Very impressive.
Okay, he scores 40 in the first half of that game against then the New Jersey Nets.
The New Jersey Nets in them ugly uniforms. Yeah.
Okay, Carmelo drops 62 in the Garden.
The most unimpressive of the three.
In January. I'm glad you say that.
Against a bad team, and Melo just got hot. Everything was going in.
Okay, well, Melo always got hot.
Yeah.
So,
no. I'm not. Yeah. Okay.
But and then you have Brunson's 61 against San Antonio in San Antonio.
Right.
When he was just absolutely just giving it to them.
Couldn't miss.
He was just, some scoring is, you're open, they're setting you up, but you're kind of like happily, as you're getting hotter, you're just kind of happy. Maybe you're playing to the crowd a little bit. He was just purposely giving it to San Antonio.
Yeah.
It was like he had a vendetta against them.
Yeah.
Okay? And that being said, Melo's 60 is the most important out of the three.
Right.
Why? When Bernard drops to 60, it was the house record for damn near 30 something years.
Yeah.
And who clipped it? Kobe.
Yeah.
And love Kobe. Rest in peace.
60 points on 89 shots, Kobe.
But when he got to 61 in the Garden, it was on as you say, against a bad Knick team.
Yeah.
Okay? And he just bullied us to death. And it left a bad taste in my mouth because I'm like, okay, this is New York. That's Madison Square Garden. Yeah. Okay? That record should be held by a Knick.
Yeah.
So Melo on that January night, and I remember it so well for some other shit, right? That night, him getting his hot, because he drops 37 in the first half.
You remember that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Against multiple defenders.
He was giving it to everybody.
Right.
Pick a defender. You wanted it. You got it.
Yep.
3, just Melo being Melo, but they were just looking for him and finding him, whether they were looking for him or not. When he got the ball, you knew what was going to happen because he was hot, and he was like, I think he had maybe 10 in a row at some point at one point, but he was just hot. But him getting to 62, it kind of gave a relief that, okay, we got that back.
Right.
So that's why, for me at least, why it's more important. Now, to your earlier point, is Brunson as good as them in flat out scoring? Absolutely. It's a different, because he's coming from a guard position, and better yet, as the lead guard. Okay? But when he gets hot, as we saw it all last year, when he gets, and for him, it's not like you have to set him up to get hot. No. Look at him the other night against Indiana.
Yeah. He's
the smallest outside of their little 5'8", 5'9" guard coming off the bench. He's the smallest guard on the court, and he was playing bully ball.
Yeah.
Pushing, getting guys in the lane, right? Going for that left-handed. And he's 6 feet, 6'1", maybe. And for him to be able to throw his body around and then on the defensive side, take charges, because he took some brutal charges the other night.
Yeah.
He took something like, no, dude, you're gonna need that rib protector. You know, because you're taking charges from 6'10", 6'11" guys. But in any event, you know, it didn't stop his game offensively. I was just looking over some of his games besides the 61 over this weekend. Devastating. He doesn't get enough credit on how wet that jumper is. Yeah. Like, when you talk about shooters, you never hear Jalen Brunson's name in the conversation. You never hear Jalen Brunson's name. He's almost like a novelty act outside of New York.
Right.
Oh, okay, Jalen Brunson, Knicks and the Knicks, whatever. But his flat-out skill set, in particular, his shooting ability. We never talk about him as being one of the best shooters in this game, which he is.
What do you compare that to? Like the scoring in say a real life apparatus. Like if there is another thing you can compare it to, what would it be? Like would you compare scoring in the NBA to singing? And the reason why I ask you that is because when some artists sing, you're like, okay, this is a nice song, right? But then when some artists sing, you're like, hey, that child's singing, right? I'll give an example. Aretha Franklin has a song, "Till You Come Back to Me." That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rap on your door. I'm gonna knock on your door. I'm gonna rap on your window pane. I'm gonna knock on your door. Rap on your window pane. Yeah, we know that, right? And then, but then when you hear Luther Vandross sing it, you're like, oh my, okay, right? When you hear Luther, you're like, okay.
Luther singing it is like having the 808 behind it.
Yeah.
It's like having the 808 behind it. Same. It's you know. Her version was absolutely the original, and love Aretha's. And it's not like Aretha doesn't have the 808, but she sings it in a different pocket, right? Than Luther, who comes in with the heavy. Good songs, both of them.
Right.
I'll take Aretha's version.
Remember the Mickey Howard version? Remember
yes,
Mickey Howard.
I remember it less than the two that we just talked about. I totally forgot that Mickey Howard had a version of that.
So I'm just gonna assume that AD and I are the same age, whether that's accurate or
not.
No,
we are not.
I'm just gonna assume.
No, we are not. We old.
So he was born in 67, 68, 69, somewhere in there, like that.
No, right? I'm a 70s baby.
Okay, AD, listen.
Now we got to keep the record straight. I'm born in downstate.
Okay.
Downstate.
Okay.
My mother reminds me that like once every other couple of months.
Okay. I'm just
but go ahead.
But there was an era of about 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. 91, 92, 93, 94, in that era where every song was made for the club, or there were a lot of songs made for the club and not made for your car, or not made because you remember the house party era. Remember records were actually made for the house party when you used to have like 15 or 20 people over, 30 people over, and you know what I'm saying, you just be playing records or whatever. You put somebody on a record player.
It's the B-sides.
Yeah, you're right. And so
all of the B-sides that didn't make radio, but we knew them, you know, because of the collection. You know, my pops used to write his name on the record.
Because people will steal it, bro.
Yeah, he used to write. My cousin used to come over. My cousin Bobby used to come over and take his records.
Yeah, man.
He used to remind me that your dad used to write his nickname. He used to write his nickname on his records.
On the records, yeah, bro. Because people will,
and all of them had that. Remember that Motown? Motown had a distinctive look on the 45.
Yeah.
It had like that rainbowish looking with Motown going across it.
Yeah.
And you
used to write your name right around that. This little ring, right there where you put the little. Yeah, but the reason why I bring it up is because during that era there was like an era of, and this is for everybody. This is like the Lakers championship era, the Lakers Pistons, right at the beginning of the Bulls era, right? And the reason why I bring this up is because some scorers look graceful in that they're floating on air type thing. That's what Carmelo Anthony look like to me as a scorer. Like, it is a very graceful, smooth Alex English, George Gervin, Kevin Durant type scorer. And then there are some that are like the busy bees, like Iverson, Calvin Murphy, Jalen Brunson, who don't have all the physical tools or super athleticism to do it. They have some limitation that makes you pull for them. Like, man, they let little man give them the business. It's some type of thing. And then there are the Bernard Kings of the world that just flat out give you work, right? You know he gonna give you 50. He know you gonna give him 50. The defense know, the broadcasters know, the crowd know. All the, like, for instance, the night Bernard King on Christmas Day scores 50 points against New Jersey, you knew Bernard King was gonna give them the business. You knew, you had a sense that this night was gonna be special. With Bernard King, as you watch it on Christmas, you like, it's Christmas, it's New York. I remember the early days of, and I don't know, it's not true all the time, but I remember those early Christmases in the early 80s. It always seemed about we'd be like super cold outside on Christmas. Now it's gonna be cold in New Jersey in December, but I'm talking about irregularly cold. And so you in the house, you know what I'm saying? You might have you some AD, what's the meals you put in the oven? Remember the oven, the meals you put in the oven? Not Hungry Man. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you definitely put the Hungry Man's. I know you're talking about this. Not, oh my God, it's not the stovetop. Oh my God, it's killing me.
And not shake and bake either. It's not stovetop. It's not
rice.
It's not
it's
rice.
In that, the name is killing me. Oh my God. I know what you're talking about.
Basically, it was a TV dinner. Basically,
yes,
it was a TV
dinner. Is a TV dinner. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. So basically, but you put one of them in there, right? You put one of them in there, or if your family was fortunate enough to be cooking on Christmas Day, or you were blessed to have. And so some days we had, some Christmases we did, some Christmases we didn't. But either way, my point is, you would get your plate, you would get your little plate of your food, and go in there and watch. And we still had a black and white TV in my room, and I would park in front of that TV, bro, and watch Bernard King give teams the business, bro. It looked like he was working, bro. It looked like it was.
He was working because his team was trash. No disrespect. His teams. You know, it's a very short period for Bernard here with the Knicks.
Yeah. 208 games.
Very, very short.
Yeah.
He helps us get to the playoffs in 83 and in 84. You know, we know what he does in 84, and then he gets hurt in 85. But it's a very, very short. But we just remember it with such passion, and just he played with a laser focus.
Right.
His eyes, you know, not like today when everybody's kind of dapping it up after the
play. Even during the game. Even during the game.
Bernard didn't even shake hands before the game. He was at the score. He was at the scorer's table, and then he kind of walks out, and he's kind of glaring at everybody, his teammates, everyone. And then he comes out. But to go back to Melo a little bit, and how you describe Melo, I'm gonna change up a little bit because Melo is the size of a 4, but they played him as a 3 for most of his career. He plays like a 4, like a traditional 4, in the sense of not his jump shots. I'm just talking about his physicality.
Yeah.
When the game is over, and I heard Paul Pierce talk about this, it's like, yo, guarding Melo is a problem.
Right.
Because he's so, you don't see it, but he's so, when he gets the ball on the wing, first thing he does, he clears out, elbows are out, wings under, gets his space. Yep. And once he gets that space, it's several things is about to happen. It's either the quick jab
step,
or the step back, or you're gonna get the step back to the fade.
Pump fake, rip through, yep.
Or you're gonna get the pump fake, rip through. If he's close enough, he's gonna give you the pump fake, rip through, spin off of you into the lane.
Yep.
For that, when he was younger, he used to do that all the time. Couldn't stop it.
Yep.
Right? If he's posting you up, it's the fade. He had so much physicalness in his game that after the game as a defender, you knew you played.
Yep.
You knew you played that day. If you had to guard him, you knew you played because he he was a good offensive rebounder. Look at his numbers, his rebounding numbers in his prime years, even before the prime years. He always somewhere between 7 to 9. Somewhere 7 to 9 rebounds.
Yeah.
For that position, not the greatest defender, but we're not talking about defense. We're just talking about him, his offensive repertoire.
Right.
There was just a lot.
We don't ask. See, that's the thing too, AD. The thing is NBA fans, Knicks fans too. We feel as if players have to be pitch perfect. They can't be, bro.
They can't be.
They can't be an A+ scorer and an A+ defender, bro. These things don't happen.
There's only one. There's only one A+, maybe 2 that I can think of in basketball history is A+ perfect.
Yeah. Wilt Chamberlain,
Michael Jordan, done.
Right. The list is so short. If you blink, you miss it.
That's it.
Right, and so because it takes too much energy and effort to be both. No human being has that type of energy and effort. It's like asking Usain Bolt to run sprints and marathons. No. You go out there and you do your 4 events, your sprints, and that's it. Take it to the house. And so when I hear the criticism of Carmelo Anthony's defense, to me, I think it's unfair. Now, when I hear the criticism of Bernard King's defense, I think it's unfair. The criticism of Jalen Brunson's defense, however, I think is fair, and not because of who Jalen Brunson is, but because of the position that he plays.
Right? I think that's unfair.
Yeah, it's slightly.
I think it's unfair because here's the thing: basketball is now playing 5 out.
Yeah.
So when you're playing 5 out, you really don't get the chance to slough off.
No, you don't.
You have to come up to get. It's almost like you have to come up for the big to then attach his body to hit you with the screen, to go around, to get the mismatch against the other guy. You have to play, and if you're not, it's on film. So during practice or whatever, they're gonna point you out.
But here's the kicker though. And if you get hurt on that screen, now your offense is without an offensive weapon.
But that's today's game.
That's today's game. So it's fair. Is it to me is a little fair and then unfair at the same time because of the way that AD described it. But my point though is back then when Carmelo played, if he played against another scoring machine, Carmelo took on the defensive challenge. And Bernard King, if he saw, give an example, if Bernard King was playing against the San Antonio Spurs, say he's playing against older George Gervin, he was giving George Gervin 50. You know how I know? Because it happened. Bernard King scored 50 points in back-to-back nights in Texas. Right? Back-to-back nights. They're like, yo, you know he scored 50 the other night. Yo, the word on the street, he said he got 50 tonight.
And the last one that when he did it in Dallas, he didn't even know that he had 50 again. The bench is screaming, get it to Bernard. Get it to Bernard.
Yeah.
You know what kind of pressure is that? There's like seconds to go in the game. They get it to you in your spot on the wing, and you actually make it. That man, what did he have? 40. I think so. AD did the Cliff Notes version. I think Bernard had like 48. No. I'm thinking. No, I think he had like 41 with like the fourth quarter to go and like some change. And it's like, yo, this dude. Then I think he goes and hit like a couple of free throws, and the dude's got like 43 with like 12 minutes left to go in the game. And then and so something happened in the Florida game. It's neither here nor there. And then he gets to 48, and everybody like, yo, just go for 50. It's only the bench knew.
Yeah.
It's only the bench was keeping track. Was like, yo, he got 50. He don't have 50 again. Yo, get B the ball. Get B the ball. That was it. They were like, you saw the camera was panning to them. They were like, get B the ball.
Yeah, get on the ball.
And in truth, if you the defense, because the game was over. The Knicks.
Yeah, the game was over.
The game was over. If I remember correctly, that game is over. But he's still on the floor, and it's relative. I mean, it's a couple of points, but they didn't need. They didn't need 2 more points.
They need 2 points.
They need 2 more points.
But what are you going to tell a scoring machine? Not to score?
Not to score. No, he's a scoring machine. That's it. That's some of the downside of when you're looking at the scorer.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're begging him to stop.
Yeah.
In moments where he practiced these difficult shots over 2 guys, over 3 guys sometimes.
Certain spots on the floor. Yeah.
He didn't just wake up, out of bed and come to the game and say, well, decide, I'm going to take these shots. No. He's naturally gifted, yes, but he also puts in the work on those shots.
Right.
So when you have a Melo, and when things were going bad, and all of a sudden now everyone is looking at Melo, oh, it's ISO Melo. He's the greatest one-on-one scorer. These really stupid talking points.
Right.
Like that man could get a bucket in any era.
Right. And one of the things I think too that we take for granted is how difficult it is to get your shot going and how easy it is to get into a shooting slump. Right. And so we see guys get into shooting slumps that last. You remember the RJ Barrett shooting slump? That lasted like a year and a half, bro.
Melo never had one of those.
And Melo never had one of those, bro.
If Melo had a bad game tonight, you better believe the next night somebody was gonna feel it. And the next couple of nights, you're gonna feel it.
The Melo revenge tour, bro.
Because he was just the unfortunate part of Melo's career here with the Knicks was that they didn't sell out for Melo the way this management has sold out for Brunson.
Right.
You see, the moves are there to be made. Like the best acquisition that happened with Melo being here was Tyson Chandler.
Yeah.
Love Tyson Chandler. Once a Knick, always a Knick. He's not Karl Anthony Towns.
No, he's not a cat.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
Melo gets here at age 26. Brunson gets here at age 25. So we're talking about a year and some change.
Yeah.
Look what this management has done in a year and a half span since his first year.
Yeah.
They've literally flipped this team upside down.
Right.
You know, you can argue Randall, Cat, talent, whatever, but you get Cat, Bridges, OG.
Right.
You had DiVincenzo here at one point.
Right.
You know, Melo never had those kind of impactful pieces with him in his prime.
Right.
See what I'm saying? They wasted those 3.5 to 4 years, or the first 4 years of his time here in New York. That's undebatable.
Right. And the other thing too is not just wasting, bro. Right. But not taking into account the damage that's being done to Melo over the years by carrying the team by himself. Right. Like these things, like, remember when Melo first got here, there were really nice pieces around Melo. They were just not championship level pieces. But as time went on, you saw some of those pieces go away, and then you start replacing them with Ricky Lido and Sergio Rodriguez and Pablo Prigioni, and even though Porzingis was here for a spell, Kuzmingas, remember Mendaugas Kuzmingas? Remember him? Willie Hernan Gomez. And so now those pieces, you're like, all these guys, Alexei Fred, I guess, too. You're like,
they were Europe light for a minute.
Yeah.
They were Europe light, and no disrespect, because we see what the international players have brought to today's game.
He said international players, everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody remember that song "International Players" by Underground Kings and Outkast?
Yes. Oh man, I haven't heard that record.
Oh my god.
AD
hit me with song. AD, no, I have like it.
I haven't heard that in a long time. But he was, but look at the game. Look at the state of the game.
Yeah.
And what they were trying to follow, but these weren't the best of the European talent. These were like the third and fourth. And you're surrounded. You put
Bargnani, bro,
next to Melo, when Melo was 28 years old.
Yeah.
Pump fake Bargnani.
Yeah.
Remember that? We thought we were getting Lowry.
Yeah.
We were hearing about the Toronto.
Thank you, Leon Rose.
We thought we were getting Lowry. From what we were hearing, it was a Schumberg was in the deal. We were somehow going to get Lowry, and Lowry at that time is one of the best young point guards in the game. We thought we were getting Lowry to match with Melo. Was like, yo, this makes incredible sense, because that's what Melo needed. Because the older point guards,
they aged out. They
aged out in the Indiana in that last playoff. So we thought that's what we were getting.
Yeah.
Next thing we know, former first round pick from Italy. I don't even remember his first name. I just know his last name, Bargnani.
Andrea.
Yeah, Andrea Bargnani.
And he was a super talented player, just in the wrong era. He was
soft.
Yeah, and if he played in this era,
he was soft.
20 and 10, bro.
He was he never gave you 10 rebounds. He was soft.
In this era, he definitely be 20.
He's like the white Eddie Curry.
Nah.
Yes.
That man could shoot.
Yes.
That man.
He could shoot. He could shoot, but when was he ever available? Look, Freezy. when Toronto drafted him at that time,
They had to.
they had to.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. This is post Vince. They're still starving for basketball. It's a hotbed for basketball.
Right.
He didn't have anything there to make him uncomfortable.
Right.
Not then.
Right.
Not in Toronto. And it was like they were like waiting for okay, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen?
They had poor coaches, poor roster. They had a bunch of stuff. So first of all, Toronto earned the number 1 pick. Let's be clear. So you bring Margiani into a terrible situation, right? He showed flashes. I'm gonna put his numbers on the screen.
I don't think he ever averaged more than 16. 17 might have been like his tops when people were like, oh, maybe he's finally turning the corner. He's soft.
Right.
I literally remember a game with him and Melo was on the court at the same time, and he had a style with him where he loved the pump fake. Mind you, this man is 7'1". Who are you pump faking?
Right.
Who's blocking your shot? But the pump fake in his arsenal, it would allow him to get to the hole, and he could handle the ball for a big, right? But he kept pump faking, and the defender wasn't going for it. So, like I think the coach called a timeout or whatever. And it was like a break in the play, and Melo literally was telling him like, "Yo, cut that out."
Right.
Like, go strong. Go for your shot. You're 7'1". Nobody's blocking your shot.
Right.
But we've never been lucky with the Euro. Let's just go there.
Wait. Let me ask this just so that I can stay on the same page with you. Are you saying we never get lucky with the Euro?
Ever.
Wait. Listen. Hear me out. Is it the Euro or is it the international player? Because there's a difference. Like for instance, Ginobili introduced or reintroduced the Euro step, but Ginobili is from Brazil.
Okay.
That's what I'm asking. So
what's the best international player that we had? It's easy. KP. And that was a short sample.
See, that's the thing, because
after
international player.
Oh, you want to count Canada? Oh, fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
Fine. No, technically you're correct. You're fine. You're correct.
Just for. I mean, yeah, Ed Winning. I'm sorry, not from Brazil, but from Argentina. I'm sorry. But yeah. So that's what I'm just saying for clarity. I'm not trying to disrupt the conversation. I just want to know where the lines are.
We've international.
Okay.
Let's just say international. We've never been with 2 players, KP, RJ. And we remember what it was like when we draft night when we got RJ.
What do you consider Patrick Ewing?
He's not an international player. He didn't come as a rise.
He was born in Jamaica.
From Jamaica. No, he's not an international player.
He was born in Jamaica. He played basketball in Boston.
He never played basketball a day in his life in Jamaica.
Okay.
Not a day in his life in Jamaica.
Just for clarity, I'm just saying, just for clarity.
He wouldn't be an international player.
Okay. Just like Precious. So Precious is Nigerian, born in Nigeria. He played basketball in Queens and the Bronx.
Never played in Nigeria.
Okay. You know? Like OG Anunoby, is from
OG may be closer to an international player because he came through that international pipeline.
Well, he played high school ball in St. Louis.
Yeah, but he still came through that international pipeline. It's kind of like remember when Seton Hall got Andrew Gaze and was like, who's he?
You remember Ramon Ramos?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It was like the early international pipeline.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying. I'm just saying like overall.
Okay.
We had like 2. To me, my favorite out of all the international players that we've had, Pablo Prigioni. And with us, he was I don't want to say over the hill, but he wasn't the player that he was in Europe all those years. By the time he got to America, he was like 36.
Yeah, he's 36,
but
he was a baller.
but he was a baller with us.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you could see, you know, his skill sets, the awareness, the way how he moved. You can never get a fast break off when Pablo Prigioni was on the court because he would foul you at midcourt.
Right, and before we knew that was a smart play.
Before we knew that was a smart play.
Yeah, before he knew it, like he would scan the floor real quick and just foul the closest person. You're like, what are you doing?
You could never get a fast break off, and he was on the court.
Right.
He was like, oh, well, he dunked it. Nope, Pablo fouled whoever down there.
You know what else he used to do? I felt like was smart. When a big didn't have his feet set and there was contact, Pablo Prigioni would fall, and the ref has to blow the whistle. Now you're thinking, the ref is thinking, did Pablo foul him, or was the big's feet moving? And so while that sounds trivial, base, like, you know, lesson 1 in 2024, but when you're talking about 10 years ago, you're like, okay, 10 years ago, man, dudes like Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Chris Kamens of the world, like the bigs back then could not get used to that. Right. And those little things that got you, like the dead ball turnovers, right? Like Pablo didn't get an on-ball steal, but getting the offensive foul is the same. Both are turnovers. Yes. And so the little things in a game, like the smart things that he did, bro, you know. But I feel you about the Euro.
If they had stayed, this is one of the things that irks me to this day about Woody and his tenure here. And I know overall he had a good coaching record. But, you know, Woody was the last coach before Tibbs to get to the playoffs. I get all of that.
Right.
The Knicks, the last 17 games of that regular season, the Knicks had won 14 of them going into the playoffs with that small ball, with Pablo being part of that, with him, Felton, Kidd, Shumpert.
What's the other Euro guard? There was another Euro guard too. I forget. The one with the Larry O'Brien trophy tattooed on the inside of his arm.
Oh man, jeez, I can't remember his name. Oh,
I forgot. I think Golden State drafted him, and he wound up here with us.
Somebody in the chat throw his name up, you know. But Woody, after they get past Boston, going into Indiana, Woody has an epiphany that he's going to go big. Pause. Right?
Right.
And he's getting Kenyon Martin, who's pushing this, you got to start me, you got to start me, you got to start me.
Right.
They break up that lineup to force in an over-the-hill Kenyon Martin, who was okay off the bench. Gabe was even off the bench. They lose game 1 in the Garden because of that nonsense.
They lose game 1 in the Garden. Hey, is that the year? Where
that's the 54-win year?
I'm asking if that's the year where. Hey, salute to my guy Jay Boogie. Jay Boogie is in the building. Salute. Jay Boogie asked for the link, so I'm gonna put the link I have for my guy Jay Boogie. Usually me and AD rock solo dolo on this, but my guy Jay Boogie on our anniversary day probably just want to come up and shoot some well wishes and all that. But AD, the thing I'm asking you is that the year where Kenyon Martin and Rasheed Wallace had that chemistry off the bench? Where because I think
remember Rasheed was here. The reason why Kenyon got here because Rasheed gets hurt.
Okay.
Rasheed, his claim to fame that year is that he brought this.
Yeah.
And then everybody picked it up. Kenyon, I think Rasheed might have played like 10 games.
No, he played.
Then he had the fracture. Remember, it was the bigs were Rasheed. They even brought back what's the name for a time. Um.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh Lord. Camby. Remember they even brought back Marcus Camby for a
Both
time.
them dudes, all them dudes was
Yeah.
out of shape, bro. All them dudes was huffing and puffing.
Yeah. They had a bunch of old dudes that they had brought back outside of Melo, Felton, JR.
Yeah.
Everybody else was old. Everybody else was
Everybody else,
old.
I'm saying
Yeah.
everybody, bro.
And the young dude that eventually went to Indiana was stopped right at this.
Chris
Bring my
Book.
guy in, Jay Boogie,
Boogie.
aka the closer. Good morning to you, sir. How are you on this vainglorious 4-year anniversary day?
4 years of Lawrence Tears, bro. That's crazy.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Three capital G's, blessing, health, happiness to everybody. Salute, salute, salute. Three capital S's, salute, salute, salute. Three capital Sundays. Shout out to this amazing chat that's continue on watching, you know what I'm saying, this orange and blue network that Mr. Freezy has provided us with. Shout out to my big bro, Mr. AD, you know what I'm saying. Blessings, health to you, my brother. Thank you for always being there. And I just want to come up here for a moment and just share my love and my gratitude for everything that you've done, everything that all the doors that you don't open for so many people. A lot of people don't know the first time anybody has ever seen Jay Boogie's face, it was appear on on Mr. Freezy Blowing show. This is the first show that I ever appeared on, what I'm saying, as far as my face being on. And I'm honored to be here and be a supporter of you and your channel, you and your network, you and your career, everything that you always have done. So many doors you have open. I go all the way back to the 2 o'clock. Excuse me, I had a call coming. I go all the way back to the 2 o'clock in the mornings when you used to have, the battles amongst you, know what I'm saying, who has the best takes and everything. So many legendary guys, came from your show, the great Warner Wolf, Keys, it's just so many Tony Crow. I mean, I can go on and on. Um, Uncle Fulio. So many guys come from Hoodie Cab, come from up under your, what I'm saying, your umbrella, your wing, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to make sure I thank you from us as being a fan of your show and a supporter of your show. Just want to say thank you for everything that you have done. Thank you for you always holding it down in the mornings, you know what I'm saying, when you don't want to get up, when you don't feel like doing it. Those are the dedicated days when you don't feel like doing something, you do it anyway because you got to do it for the other people that's, counting on you to be there for them, not counting on you to be there for yourself. So I do know many times, because we don't spoke many times where jumped out and did, things to entertain other people for themselves and not for you, knowing that you didn't want to be there, but you always been there and never not been there. So I just wanted to say you're happy for, what I'm saying, continue on pushing. We're going to continue on loving you. We're going to continue on supporting you, everything that you do, everything that you provide, all your shows, all your networks, everything you do on all social media, everything. We say thank you and salute to you, Mr. Freezy. Thank you for being a provider, especially for Jay Boogie, you know what I'm saying? And we love you, my king. We love you.
Hey, appreciate you, J Boogie. Yeah, man. It's been 48 long, hard months, bro. And still struggling. Survival got me bugging, but I'm alive on arrival. You know that? Anybody
Okay,
know that? Anybody love hip hop? Anybody love hip hop?
okay,
Alive on
okay,
arrival.
okay,
Any,
okay.
yeah, anybody that remember anything, anybody that remember anything about Cream or Inspector Deck, the Rebel INS, y'all know we live this hip hop life every day. That's what we are. I am hip hop.
He has the two most important verses on Wu-Tang's
Yes,
albums. The two most important verses Deck has for Wu-Tang.
Maybe the greatest verse ever. That might be a
Two most
competition.
important verses when it comes, smoke on the mic like smoking Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser.
woo,
Yeah, yeah, man.
We were like, who is that? And who
That dude
is
pen is on fire. That dude pen is melting in his hand, bro.
and
yeah.
they got 8 more of them
Oh
that's coming.
bro.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, bro.
We talked about Staten Island earlier. Staten Island gave us that.
Salute to Staten
Hey, I
Island.
ain't gonna hold y'all up, man. I'm still in the whip. I had to pull over and make sure I be a part of this, you know what I'm saying, celebration day, you know what I'm saying. Just make sure that I celebrated you and you too, AD, everybody, that's up under your, your wing, you know what I'm saying? You doing what you're doing. And thank you for helping me with my morning. I had one of the worst days and worst I don't know and understand. I'm waking up this morning, this Miami Heat off me, man. I had to pay my homeboy. I had to pay my homeboy and go with him to the game and buy a seat number 3, row number 3 at the Miami Hornets game because I lost a bet with him with Boston and the Knicks. So the bet was the very next time one of our teams come to the city, the loser got to get the ticket. And man, did we get torpedoed. So I had to pay my debt last night and sit there and listen to about 37 Miami Heat fans. Like I told them, y'all can never shut down other arenas like we do. But I had to pay and honor my bet. He won. Boston beat us, so I had to go and buy 2 tickets for the Miami Charlotte game. So, I'm just really getting back into town, but I need to make sure before I lay down, I need to pay homage and knowledge of your show, my brother.
Salute, man, and salute to the first face on this Knicks universe Mount Rushmore, right? Like salute to the first face on the Knicks universe Mount Rushmore, because the microphone is not just for the content creators, it's for everybody, right? You turn this thing on and you add something to the universe, bro. So salute to Jay Boogie for being the one of the faces on the Mount Rushmore. Who the other 3 faces are, that's up for debate. But I saw Jay Boogie himself take a young, struggling channel with no identity and turn it into like one of the biggest channels in New York City, period, on YouTube. And so for those that don't know, I'm talking about Knicks Fan TV when they first started, right? When they first started, they had they were trying to figure it out. I'm not saying they weren't good, because they were good, but they were trying to figure it out. And Jay Boogie would come in and close the show and get everybody hyped and give everybody enough energy to the next episode. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Jay Boogie for that. Salute for all that Jay Boogie does in the community. Salute to all of y'all that do stuff behind the scenes too. I just wanted to point that out. So just because you're not in front of the camera, maybe you behind the camera, maybe you at the games, maybe you contribute in different ways. So salute to all of y'all, man, for helping support and help us talk this talk the way that you like to have this talk to y'all, and support the movement, because the movement has been up and down, because the team hasn't always been good, but we still been here, right? You know what I'm saying, and support. And so salute to Jay Boogie and everybody else that contributes to this thing. And I'm not, listen, and even though sometimes I can be an egomaniac, like, I call myself the number 1 Chief Rocker, but that's actually in homage to Freddie Crocker. For those from New York, if you remember, Freddie Crocker used to call himself the number 1 Chief Rocker. He used to rock the radio for heads like us that didn't have, maybe we were too young to go to the club. Yeah, man. Frankie Crocker. Yeah. Frankie Crocker. Yeah. Did I say Freddie? I meant to say Frankie Crocker. I'm sorry. But so that's an homage to him, because dudes like us, if you were 60s baby and you were too young, like you were too young for the Cool Herc party, and you were too young to go to the Silver Shadow or the Palladium or wherever the club was at. I think it's called Club Neptune now in Jersey City. Dudes used to come over, or in Newark, you know what I'm saying, or Uptown or Midtown. You were too young. Maybe you was like 13, 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you was on the street team. Maybe you, Jay Boogie, you remember when we used to plaster the things on the wall? Remember they used to give us a stack of paper, and we should just take the paper and put them up on the wall. Anybody remember that? Be part of the street team or whatever? And they'll give you like a little tape or something. Yo, this is our new tape coming out. So salute to all the people. Yeah, Club Sensations in Newark. Yeah, son from Brooklyn. That's my guy, Club Sensations. Down the street from the bro. But yeah, so salute to Jay Boogie and everybody else that support. Jay Boogie, thank you. The mere fact that you paid off that debt reinforces the fact that everybody knows that you are rock steady. Bro, Jay Boogie is rock steady, everybody. We don't throw that term around loosely because everybody ain't rock steady. A lot of people look out for themselves. I mean, I don't blame them, right? That's who they are. They told you that from day one. You got to accept it. So,
gotta accept it, man.
Yeah,
but God bless, man, you guys, man. Hey, yo, real quick, because I know it might have went over some people's heads, not once but twice. When I said the young Warner Wolf, I know a lot of people might not know who Warner Wolf is, but I know these guys know, and there's probably some people in the chat. But that's the nickname that I used to call Stephen Fox. So when I was talking about the young Warner Wolf, I wanted y'all to know that I was talking about Steve Fox for those in the chats that might have got thrown off with that right there. There's just so many guys that Mr. Freezy has, you know what I'm saying, given birth to, and they became legends and all that, and so on and so on. You still see Free Keep, you still see GI, we know GI. GI is really trying to get on the golf team for real. So when you don't see GI, just know he's really trying to be on that golf course.
Yeah, trying to make varsity.
Yeah. They won't allow him because there's no cannabis on the golf course. They won't allow him to come to be that guy. But that's my guy.
He told me a different story. He told me he was in contract negotiations. He was trying to get them to agree to his contract that he can make sure he can wear the bow ties.
The bow tie.
That's the problem why he can't get on.
Jay Boogie, since I got two old school people, just real quick, because I know y'all gotta go. I gotta run too, man. I gotta do a brunch thing just real quick. I want to ask Jay Boogie, who is the greatest New York City point guard that you've ever seen? The greatest New York City point guard that you have ever seen. Not the guys before, that retired before we were born. I'm talking about the guys that you saw with your own eyes that may have made the NBA. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they did. You know what I'm saying? Who's the greatest New York City point guard that you've ever seen? And is it a Brooklyn point guard? Or is it a Queens point guard?
Well, I'm gonna shoot my gift because if I'm wrong, I know my big homie, he can clean it up. But far as stat wise, in the city, stat wise, high school rate, you know what I'm saying? I think it would be Kenny Anderson. But for me, I think it's Tiny Archibald. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of his game goes unrecognized and everything. And a lot of people don't know of the wheelchair classics that was honored by Tiny Archibald. There's so many other great point guards that used to play in that tournament. So, you heard me say it in a version, and for the point guards, the Tiny Archibald with braids. That's right. I'm on my gritty. When I called Jalen Brunson, I was hearing him as Tiny Archibald. So Tiny Archibald and Kenny Anderson would be my top two far as I know. The legend, I'm giving him his respect, but I think Kenny Anderson, outside of that, pretty much did everything he could do as far as the guards in school.
I chatted with him briefly on X the other day, Kenny Anderson.
Man, I know it's a wonderful conversation.
Yeah, just real.
Kenny's the man at, I think it's only him and Lou Alcindor have their high school jerseys hung up in the Hall of Fame.
Old.
But I love Kenny, but I'm going to take Pearl Washington. I'm going to take the late Pearl Washington. Like, I remember seeing that dude. Syracuse in the Garden against Georgetown.
Yeah.
And Georgetown at that time was the best bunk team just defensively.
Yeah.
Like the best on-ball defenders, plus you got Pat in the back.
They was that before Vegas, bro. Remember Vegas?
Oh my God, they was that long before them. And I just one of the plays when he goes by Jackson and it's just him and Ewing there. He takes it right to Ewing.
Michael Jackson, not Mark.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. He goes by Michael. I think it was either Michael Jackson or Broadnax. He goes by him, and Ewing. You didn't challenge Ewing in Georgetown. Not that guy.
Right.
And he took it right to Ewing, and you know, he kind of gave Ewing a little half knee.
Yeah.
laid it up over Pat.
Yeah.
That game, Dwayne Pearl Washington, they had nothing for him.
The year he talking about everybody is 1985. This is 1985 when that happened. I remember that.
That man would light the Carrier Dome up.
Pearl Washington was a sophomore. Remember that? Pearl Washington was a sophomore.
That low dribble. Pearl was a star.
Yeah.
I heard, Pearl was a flat out, come to the game, the gold chains, the two breezies on each arm.
Yeah.
Fur coat. Pearl was a star.
Bro.
From
Boys
Brooklyn,
and Girls High School.
Oh my God, Pearl was this is in high school. Pearl was a star.
My most underrated guy out of this conversation is Rod Strickland. And it's not because Rod Strickland was better than Kenny Anderson. I don't think so. Right? Maybe he had a more productive NBA career than Kenny. I guess it depends on how you view the early part of your career and the end parts of your career. Maybe Rod Strickland had a better overall career than Kenny in the NBA. But man, the Celtics had a point guard named JoJo White. He was an Iron Man. You could hit that man with a sledgehammer, he'll get up and still play. And I don't know if people remember JoJo White, but JoJo White was the guy that did away. Y'all remember when point guards used to bounce with the ball and hide the ball from everybody? Clyde and them used to do that. JoJo White used to stand in front of you and do this right here and dare you to reach. He was so quick and so big and strong that if you got out of your defensive stand for a millisecond, JoJo White was at the rim laying it up. And so Rod Strickland was the first point guard that I saw in the NBA that when he would look at you and be like, man, I wish you would reach because I'm gone. And mind you, he was a pick and roll maestro, right? Rod Strickland was the pick and roll maestro. Like his mind processed the game. And I guess, J-Book, I guess that's why he's a coach now. Because his mind processed the game he went to the Spurs. If y'all remember, he went to the Spurs who were basically a point guard away. Remember, we traded him to the Spurs for Mo Cheeks, right? And so he took that franchise as from a cute little story to the real deal. Like, we knew who David Robinson was. Like, there's a big man in San Antonio, man. He scored a lot of points. Man, this dude, Sean Elliott down there, man, he scored a lot. So you might see him once a year on TV. Rod Strickland got there, bro. They knocking off. Y'all remember how good the Portland Trailblazers were in the late 80s? Clyde and them, Terry Porter, all of them, Duckworth and Kersey and all them, Buck Williams. Rod Strickland turned that team into the Spurs. Turn that team into a dynamo. And he helped the Spurs go from a 42-40 team every year to like a 50-win team. David Robinson winds up winning MVP one of those years. But the point that I'm getting at is what I want to do is show love to the New York City point guards because I think New York City hasn't had a dominant point guard like that in so long.
Let me give an honorable mention.
Marbury.
No. I was thinking Marbury, but that's the obvious. There's a name that no one ever mentions. Greg Boo Harvey.
St. John's.
Okay? When you look at some of the guys, like just around that catch, just take St. John's out of it. That man was busting your ass.
Every night. When he got to St. John's, it was like almost on a nightly game winner.
Game winner. Greg
Who was
Harvey.
number 55? Number 55, the light skinned dude. The Christopher Williams looking dude.
For who? For St. John?
Yeah.
He came there with his backcourt mate from junior college. His cat name was Porter. I can't remember his first name.
You talking about Robert Churchwell?
No.
Churchwell played for Georgetown.
He jumped out the gym too.
Yeah. Greg Boo Harvey was a menace.
Yeah.
On the high school scene, Greg Boo Harvey was an absolute menace. But anyway, Freezy, I gotta run.
I'm gonna get out of here.
So we can leave it right there.
Real quick, what you talking about? Freezy, you got it in your archives. When I did the song Point Guards, I paid homage to all them guards you talking about.
Yeah, I got
you
it.
Got that.
Yeah, I got it.
And when you say Greg Boo Harvey, a lot of people don't know that Greg Boo Harvey is the one in Coming to America that does the reverse layup. That's
yes. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, when they stand up and yell, yes. You know what I'm saying? That's Greg Boo Harvey that gets that goal. Greg Boo Harvey, Michael Jordan also said that the best guy, the one guy he's never been able, the one guy that did whatever he wanted to do him was Greg Boo Harvey. He played on the Olympic, he played against Michael Jordan and them in the Olympics for Puerto Rico. And but if you ever want to see what Freezy talking about with Rod Strickland, everybody talk about the crossover AI did on Michael Jordan. Google Rod Strickland versus Michael Jordan. You see him give him the business every time Mike got in front of him.
Is that the Washington Bullets? Rod?
That's the Washington Bullets.
Washington Rod.
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah, that's the year when he punch Scottie Pippen in his face, man. You just.
No, we forget. We forget about that Washington Rod. You know, well, Washington was like the land of the lost. You go there to die, kind of.
Figure it out. Yeah, you go there.
Professionally, it's like
they
had him and Weber.
Them man, you remember them Washington and New Jersey to AD's.
They had him and Weber at the same time, and then
and Calbert Chaney
and Howard and Jawan Howard, Calbert Chaney
and Ben Wallace.
They robbed him that All-Star year. He had in the double. He was he led the league in assists that year, man. Yeah, but I know y'all trying to get out of here. I can go on and on when you get to talk about the legends, man.
Absolutely. But we're gonna leave it right there. But once again, thank you for joining us on Launched Here's 4th year anniversary. Salute to the fans. We don't know where this journey started, but we know where it ended. It ended with you. Look for me and Freezy in the whirlwind. Garvey.
Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real Anthony D. And your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative, Uncle Freezy. Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real still the real Anthony D. And your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative, Uncle Freezy.